Hi YouTube, it's Friday again. Welcome to Kuala Lumpur. So this is Masjid Jame, which is on the congruence of the river, as I've told you before. This is like one of the starts of the river life. We're not going to go there because we had trouble getting in for prayers, so we're going to go this way. And every Friday, there is this, which is like, which I haven't showed you before. It's like basically a pasar or a market, Friday market for lunch, and they have many different types of like Malay or Malaysian food, and it's done by DBKL and Pasamalam Kuala Lumpur. So every Friday, you can come and get an array of like Asian style foods and possibly a little bit of Western style foods. So we're just gonna walk through, and it goes all the way to Masjid Jame. But we're not gonna pray in Masjid Jame. We're gonna pray in another old mosque called Masjid India, which is on Jalan Masjid India, which is around that way. And hopefully they'll be more open than the old Malaysian mosque of Masjid Jame. Wow, this is actually really good because for satay, it's like 120 or 1 ringgit for chicken. Not a bad price for the middle of Kuala Lumpur. There's some Vietnamese spring roll, which I don't know if it's fried. It shouldn't be. This, by the way, like this kind of market usually exists every day on like Petaling Street, which is the Chinese part, Kasturi Walk, which is the Malay part, and then another like Jalan India, Masjid India, which is like the Indian part. So like on Jalan Masjid India, there's like usually textiles. On Kasturi Walk, there's usually some food and basically like Chinese made like trinkets to buy for your friends. It's next to Central Market, and on Petaling Street there are all the copied products and non-original products. Ay Klapper. Wow, there's like way too many people for my taste. This is rambutan. It's native to Southeast Asia. And rambut means hair, so it's like hairy fruit. So this is the end of it. We're gonna go left and on Jalan Melayu, I think, and gonna go right to Lorong Masjid India. Let's cross before we get run over. This square is actually really nice. There's a modern-made kampong house. Kampong houses are usually on stilts, but obviously since we're in the middle of Kuala Lumpur, it's not made on stilts. And this is like a Saloma type lady from the like basically Piramli era, dressed like in the Piramli era, and it's made by one of our cultural icons, Lat. And the story of Lat is because basically he wrote a couple of stories called Kampong Boy, and it's an entire series of like comics into a book called Kampong Boy, and then another series of comics of when the Kampong Boy goes to the city, and it's called Town Boy. And in this cultural area, you'll see that the tribute to Lat as a town boy, looking to the, funny enough, to the Twin Tower, this original Kuala Lumpur skyline, which is the Twin Towers and the KL Tower. And keeping on this one shot, this is what a typical, well, kampong house should look like, except smaller. So basically you have a roof that catches like the flooding rain, and then this is a bank, but like, you know, and the houses would be on stilts because of the floods. This is a sepak takraw ball, and it's a sport played in Southeast Asia. And here's Kampung Boy, which is based on Lat himself, looking at the KL skyline. So we're on our way to Masjid India. This is Jalan Melayu, and it'll go towards Masjid India. So this is the third part of the basically the Chinese, Malay, and the Indian culture differences or like similarities, because as you can see, you'll find many of the same things on all three walks. So like this is in my childhood is where we got our baju raya or our national clothes, because there's a lot of like textiles and places where they do like custom tailoring, and basically if you want to like come and check out the differences or similarities of the three cultures, those are the three best places to start. This is just off Jalan this is Jalan Melayu off of like Masjid Jami LRT station. And of course, we're now actually walking on the side. So let me walk a little bit, because we are going to like Masjid India. So like there's a Lorong Masjid India, which is like what we're trying to find. I think it's to the left. But just like Kasturi Walk, it's a bazaar. So it looks something like this. And everybody's selling everything somewhere. Coming to Friday prayers, we're going to one of the older mosques in Kuala Lumpur also. Like this is Masjid India, and not really sure why it's called Masjid India, except for it's in the Indian part of town. But like the thing is, like most Muslim Indians came in through like thousands of years ago, well, 1,000 years ago, through Bangladesh and Pakistani immigrants, and they started mamak culture, which you have like all over Malaysia. So like, and they're like behind the nasi kandar culture. So this is what it looks like. See you guys after prayers. Well, another Friday gone, and this is my last Friday in Malaysia, and basically like we just prayed at the Masjid India, or the Indian mosque, and it was a surprise because it ended up being in Tamil, and the sermon ended up being in Tamil. So that was interesting. I really thought it was like gonna be either also in Malay, but what was I expecting is a multicultural like country.